See these two? We're going to get to the bottom of this. Stay tuned. Good YouTube, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikey Cologne, and if you're tuned in, as always, thank you very much for doing so. Right, one of my subscribers asked me, or they put a comment down saying that they own Onyx. Is it redundant getting Onyx Extreme? So I said to him that I will just do a quick review on both of these fragrances, explaining the differences, and there are differences, one with the note breakdown and two with how the fragrance smells and comes across. First off, we're going to start with Onyx. I'm going to read you both note breakdowns as I go through, and if I'm a bit all over the place, bear with me. I'm trying to make sense of it in my own way. Right. We all know that Onyx and Onyx Extreme are extract de parfum. They come from the house of Aaron Terence Hughes. I have 10 mLs of both. There's Onyx and there's Onyx Extreme. Let me spray Onyx and then I'll run through the fragrance quickly with you. Like I say, these are extract de parfum. These do last a long time. So if you're looking for something with great longevity, both of these will not disappoint. It is good, it is good. Right, you've got Vanilla Absolute, Rose Absolute, Plum, Chocolate, Patchouli, Thai Oud, Ethical Ambergris, Sandalwood and Musk. This opens dark, a little earthy, semi-sweet. The rose comes across more like, it's a rose oud combo, but there is more things going on. The rose comes across here like a freshly picked, fresh rose. The petals, the stem, the spikes, everything. So it is a little bit earthy. The oud is dark and it adds a little bit of funk. Not a lot, but it does add a little bit of funk to the fragrance. Once that opening calms down, you get the plum that comes in. It's juicy, a little bit sweet. The chocolate comes through, and because the fragrance is dark in the opening, the chocolate comes across like dark chocolate. So it's plum, chocolate, rose, oud, a little bit of funk. Once you start getting into the mid through the dry down, it does turn, I know oud is a woodsy nuance, but it does turn, you do get a woodsy nuance from the fragrance. The patchouli is adding a little bit of sweetness, plus that is sort of, it has a helping hand on the earthy side of things. You still get the rose into the dry down. The oud is all the way through. The oud sort of mellows out a little bit, but it's still there. They are the main players, the rose and the oud, but you do get the other notes. The sandalwood does add this slight, smooth, creamy facet once you start going from the mid into the dry down. You get the chocolate, you get the plum. It's a great smelling fragrance. There is no doubt about it. And I always say this, when it comes to oud fragrances, I think they're unisex. I just think that you have to appreciate oud and rose as a note in your fragrances, and you will appreciate this fragrance. Right, Onyx Extreme. Let's spray it. Let's read you the note breakdown. I prefer this one. I'm just saying, out of the two. Right, you've got Rose Absolute, 4%, Vanilla, Plum, Chocolate, Raspberry. There's one note. Ylang Ylang. There's two notes that are different. Amber, 3 notes that are different. Oak Moss, added. Patchouli, 7.6% Thai Oud. Ethical Ambergris, Sandalwood and Musk. Right, now Onyx Extreme opens up fruity. you get the rose, you get the oud, but the main player to my nose is the raspberry up top, and it adds this fruity, fresh quality to the fragrance. Once that, after a couple of minutes, you still get the raspberry, that just sort of calms down. That's when the rose starts making a little bit more known, the oud comes through a little bit more, and the rose in this, to my nose, is on the jammy side of things. So it adds that jammy sweetness into the fragrance. The plum starts creeping in, and that's working with the raspberry. You do get the oud. The oud doesn't really have that funk in this, what it does in Onyx. This is a more smoother, fresher, so to speak, as oud fragrances go. Fresher, smoother, a little bit more creamier, a little bit more quiet. Like, I would say Onyx is the rough, rugged brother. Loud, toughy. Whereas Onyx Extreme is a little bit more laid back, and it's more smoother, and it's got a little bit more class to it. That is how I would, they're the differences, so to speak. It's the same, once you get into the mid, the patchouli amps up a little bit. It does get a little bit of an earthy touch. You've got the ylang ylang. The ylang ylang does add a little bit more of a creamy facet to this fragrance, the way it's working in with the sandalwood. Plus it gives this fragrance smooth, ever so slight floral edges. I do get the vanilla in both of these. They come across, you can tell that there's vanilla there, but both of these fragrances come across a little bit powdery. And to me, that's coming from the vanilla. You do get the musk in the late dry down. They both have a little bit of a musky base. The oak moss in Onyx Extreme is very light. Like, if you're looking for it, you'll notice it. If you wasn't looking for it, I just don't think you really would pick it up. I think it's just gelled in with all the other notes. But like I say, both of these do have a powdery touch. It's a great fragrance. It really is. They both are great fragrances. It is not redundant to have both. You will pick up Onyx in Onyx Extreme, yes. It's like Onyx is the base layer for Onyx Extreme, but you've got the ylang ylang, you've got the raspberry, oh, the amber. The amber adds this balsamic quality, adds a little bit of warmth into the fragrance once you sort of get into the dry down. So there are differences. It is worth having both, but you will pick up Onyx in Onyx Extreme. There's no doubt about it. Like I say, to me, the raspberry up top is what makes me love this fragrance more than this, because the way he's put it in with the rose, the plum, the chocolate, and the amber, and just the way all the notes gel together, and how smooth it is, I do prefer Onyx Extreme. But I still like Onyx, there's no doubt about it. Like, a lot of his fragrances that I've tested and have worn, there's not one that I've disliked. They're all great fragrances. He has his own style, but this is for yous who asked the question about, is it redundant to have Onyx Extreme if you own Onyx? I don't think it does. I'm not getting paid to promote this. I'm not pushing you onto this. I'm telling you my serious thoughts, and it is good to have both. You get the baseline of this, so to speak, or the undertone of this in the Onyx Extreme, but it does have differences. Right, people, let me know which one you own. I apologise if I was a bit all over the gaff. I was trying to explain it how I would explain it, so to speak. Everyone's got different styles, and I put things together back to front sometimes. But anyway, let me know which one you own out of these two. Let me know which one you prefer. Like I say, Onyx Extreme is my favourite out of the pair. That raspberry note up top for me, it kills it, it crushes it. Right, people, remember, smelling good's always a pleasure and never a chore. And I will definitely see you lot on the next one. Cheers.